Hello, we are live, but apparently all my viewers are over on Diller's stream. Okay, maybe not my viewers or his, because they are. Maybe they'll find him more exciting as he draws something. Maybe he said Fat Ass. He named it Fat Ass Friday, so maybe it's. Although this isn't Friday, this is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. 2 days. I don't know why it's 2 days, but it is 2 days. It's one day, 2 day. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, five. And I know you're not here, Metal, but hi, I did see you over on Dillard's stream saying hi. Hoping you're having a good time at Walmart. I mean Walmart. Nobody's here to talk to in the chat yet. We have nobody. Nobody. Uh, so yeah, not sure what he's doing exactly. He's talking about smokes or whatever. But I'm not even sure what we're doing here. Well, yeah, well, I guess update. Although there's nobody here to listen at the moment except for those watching the replay. Does anybody even watch this in the replay? There is a question. I doubt it, but anyways, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, replay. So of course, I had my interview last week on Thursday. I do believe I would say it went well. I will know this week, one way or another, whether I get it. If they call me, I get it. If they don't call me, I don't. But at least I know beyond this week not to think about uh, those interviews. Um, I do have one, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, a week from Thursday, at Mickey D's, just up the street. Yeah, well, I'm pointing the right way, but it's going the wrong way. So just up the street. Depends on where you are. It looks like which way I'm going. What else can we say? Oh, and I ended up having another interview as well. At the Brick on the next day. So 3 interviews in 2 weeks. That is got to be a record for me at least. Nobody else. I'm sure somebody else has had 3 interviews in one day before, but I'm not even sure whether I've ever had 2 interviews in the same week before. Um, I can't really remember that in my 40 years of looking for a job. The times while I was looking for a job, of course, I've put out dozens and dozens of resumes, probably hundreds, maybe even close to 1,000 or more in my lifetime, maybe even more than 1,000. Um, will we get anybody? You know what? We should get on YouTube and share this out. Maybe we'll get some people if we share this out. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. We'll share on Facebook. TL stream. We'll share on X. And you know what? We need to get our Discord on this one so we can share in Discord. Okay, so we'll close that. We got one like, that's good. Let's change this. Don't even know whether I should keep that open. What shall we talk about? Yeah, so no, almost 2 weeks in Chilliwack, Ontario, right? Chilliwack, British Columbia. And yeah, things are, I think, I'd say things are going well. like I said, 3 interviews. It'll be 3 interviews in under 3 weeks. But that's pretty good. Putting out the job stuff, resumes well, almost every day except for the weekend. But then I put out a few more on Monday. Although this last weekend I did put out some on Saturday and Sunday. Um, yeah, I gotta find a few more places to look for work. We finally got somebody watching. Yay! How are you, whoever you are here? Just lurking. Lurkers. The good lurkers are good. We like lurkers because any view is a view, and that's what counts. Sure, it's nice to see somebody in the chat to talk to. Actually, it'd be nice to have people on the panel. Is metal not okay? Um, as far as I know, he's all right physically and all that, and mentally. Uh, with from what I heard is he's having some internet problems and they might be moving from the place that they are. They're trying to decide one way or another, and then depending on whether they moved, is whether they're going to decide whether to um, if they're going to move, they're not going to get the mess with try and get the internet back going where they are. If they get it in a new place, they'll wait till they get to the new place, and then I guess if they decide that they're going to stay where they are, they're going to work on getting the net working. I was over on Diller's stream for a couple minutes in the chat, and I seen him in there, and he said he was at Small Mart, so that's where he's saying hi from. Neat shirt, thank you, thank you. I actually got it from my landlord, and he had a whole bunch of clothes from somewhere. This was one of them. I'm actually wearing my own Superman shirt underneath. This is actually long sleeve where that is a t-shirt, but this is mine now, so this is my shirt too, right? But yeah, things are yo, what's up? Hey Aqua, how are you doing? What's up? Well, I'm chilling here in Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada. It where I am is my new home for the next little bit. You did not explain that situation well. Sorry, I guess. Well, I don't know all the details, so I guess that's why I didn't explain it well. All I know is they're having some internet problems where they're living. They're trying to decide whether they want to stay where they're living or not. If they decide that they're going to move somewhere else, if they can find a place, then they're gonna not get to do anything with the internet where they are at the moment. They're gonna wait till they move to do something. If they decide to stay, then they will do something about the internet. Does that make it a bit better? Um, but good to see Ottawa. I think it's been a bit. But yeah, I'm here in Chilliwack. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow that I will have been here. Well, technically it's day 14, but it won't be 14 days until, well, I guess it'll be 14 days that I've been here tomorrow because I arrived here on the first, which was a Thursday. Uh, might have personally avoided the vague statements, made it seem like someone died, but that's just me. Well, I don't want to lie or misconstrue the situation. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure whether you were here yet, but my interviews went, I think, well. I ended up actually having 2 interviews. Um, um, the place that I had for a Thursday interview, which was at a meat packing plant, um, specifying in or specifying. Well, they do pork. They just do pigs. So that's that was good. A cleaner for that factory. I'm not sure whether it was, uh, but I should know one way or another whether I got that this week, whether by either they don't call me or they do call me. And then I ended up with another interview at the Brick um, on the Friday, which I'd say that an interview went fairly well. It wasn't quite as long as the one at the meat packing plant, um, but it still went pretty good. Uh, how about a temp service? I've thought of that, and I think some of the places that I'm applying to through the um, through the site on the Indeed site are. Oh, right. You guys don't have the Brick down there. The Brick here, it is just a Canadian company. It is a furniture and appliance store. They deal, couches, chairs, tables, and fridges, stoves, freezers, and maybe a few other things that I can't. TVs, and it's just a place. It's a big chain across Canada called the Brick. Pretty simple name. I don't know why it's called the Brick, but it's we have bricks, but contextually yours sounded different. Yes, it did. We have bricks here too, like what you're talking about. Bricks as in to make the building. But yes, yes, I had an interview there as a sales associate. So I'd be selling furniture thing. So that's not too bad. Like I said, that interview I think went well as well. And again, that one I think he said by Thursday I should know. So and then earlier this week, yesterday I think actually, I set up an interview for Mickey D's, McDonald's, just down the street. So and that's not this Thursday, like 2 days from now, but a week from then. So that's good, and of course I'm putting out resumes every day, hoping to get more interviews. Uh, congrats. Yes. So yeah, as I was also saying before you got here, 3 interviews in 2 weeks. I think that's the most I've ever had. I don't think I've ever had an interview one day and another interview the next either. So two in one week was a thing for me, but three three in a 2 week time period, 14 days, I mean, because technically it would be, not this week, but next week, but Thursday to a Thursday, sort of 2 weeks. Uh, that's more interviews than I ever got. Hopefully it goes well. Yes. Well, I've had more than 3 interviews, I think, in my lifetime, but it's also the most that I've ever gotten in such a short time period, too. So that's good. And the one thing that I did do, I was for some of these places, I had to just directly email them my resume from my computer, like upload it and send it via email. On the Indeed site, I put up my resume and I just send it that way. But I went and I opened up my resume that I've been sending to a bunch of these places the last week and a half. It's like, oh crap, this thing does not look good at all. And it didn't have a couple jobs that I've well, it didn't have my cross comic stuff on, and it didn't have another job that I had in there. So I went and put it on and made it look a lot better. So now when I send it out to people, they can actually read it a lot better. It'll make a lot more sense. I've had 5 total. I'm not sure how many I've had interviews I've had total. One, there's three, this or four. I've probably had somewhere between 10 and 20 interviews in total in my life, I would say, for a job. Um, so I guess, and most of those jobs I didn't get, I think. I got the thing, that one. But yeah, there's one that I should probably apply to. I should probably apply to Walmart. Hey, my sketchbook. What's that on the screen? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Super Rick. Actually, I was gonna say, oh, there's something funny. That's something funny, 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 funny. I actually had this shirt on at church on Sunday, and in the entrance they have greeters as you go into the sanctuary, and there was a lady there that said, "Notice the S," and she said, "Is that for Superman or Spider Man?" And I said, "Superman, of course." And then she said, "I'm not really in the know for that sort of stuff." Well, I'm not in the know of the up lately on it. I'm like, and I said it to her. Not, I said it to her in a nice sort of way. Superman's been around for 80 years and Spider-Man's been around for 60. Oh, Walmart beats their employees. Not here. Good night, spoon. I don't know what Walmart is like in the States. But here in Canada, they're a lot different. Well, I would assume they're a lot different. My mom worked for Walmart actually for Christmas one year, and she found it a pleasurable experience. I didn't say I had it on since Sunday. I just said I was wearing it Sunday, but actually I have. I don't do much. I just sit around. I watch some videos. I send out resumes. I did go out today to get some groceries, and it's only Tuesday, right? I might wear a different shirt tomorrow. I don't know. I just I don't have a lot of clothes here, and I actually need to go do some wash tomorrow. So maybe I'll put this on, put this in the wash, and go do when I go do those. While I wear some other stuff. Just because I didn't bring a lot of clothes because I didn't want to bring a lot of stuff here till I know things were going to work out. And there's something too is, well, one, I think things are going to, but I think I'm going to get a job in the 2 month, less than 2 months. But the other thing is, I think I do. Do you dye your hair? No, I do not. I have dyed it once in my lifetime, although I've wanted to dye it a few other times. I'd like to try it like fully black, try and get it back to fully blonde. I'd actually like to be a redhead for a while too. Um, but I just thought that was funny. The whole thing about Superman, Spider-Man with this. She's not in the know for lately. It's like both characters have been around probably as long as you've been alive, if not longer. And she probably in her 50s or 60s. Oh, there's something funny too. Um, my landlord today, he just found out for the first time that my age. He thought I was like in my 20s or like late teens. There's a reddish hue to it. Might be the light. Probably the light. Um, I used to be as a kid blonde, but obviously I've gone brunette, not by choice. And how are you doing, Sketchbook? Hope you are doing good. Well, I don't see the reddish hue from what I'm looking, but maybe. And if you guys can make sure you're hitting the like and sharing it out to Rick. She was hitting on you and you insulted. I don't think she was hitting on me. She was just being friendly. Um, because cordial or whatever. Because that's the way you're supposed to be for these positions. Hey, Mike, thanks for dropping by and hitting a like. Uh, oh, come on. The S, the Superman, is a cultural icon. Anybody that sees this S, no, well, you would think most people that see this S know it is Superman. Spider Man's got the black spider. I know they both start with S, but this S shield, well, maybe not in this one, it's been around for 80 years, 20 years before Spider Man. And I don't think this lady was 80, like I'd say around 60, somewhere between 60, 70. But who knows, like I said, I got mistaken for a 20-year-old. So yeah. Yeah, that's just that particular S says Snyder to me. What about this S? But yeah, this S is more from the Josh Wheaton Snyder films. I'm not sure. I don't mind it, but uh, so, Mike, how did your show go? Rick, why? Why what? Why am I covering up the true S? Seems suspicious. Uh, why double Superman? I don't know. Just because. Well, I'll put this on and then. Well, I wanted to wear this one on Sunday to church because it was long sleeve. It is a little chilly here. The weather's fairly good. And it was rainy on Sunday too. But yes, the hidden one is better. But this is just long sleeve, I guess. Why it's on top. Uh, uh, just because, like I said, it was a bit chilly, so just an undershirt, I guess, but not like an undershirt that they had, like my grandfather's days. Uh, so what else to talk about? There's sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. Uh, but yeah, yeah, almost 2 weeks here, and I guess happy Valentine's to anybody who wants a happy Valentine's wish the day before Valentine's or at all. But yeah, 2 weeks being here, you know, I think there's something I was saying a little earlier is I am liking it here a fair bit. I like being my own like this. Really not having to worry about anybody but myself. It's nice. It's a nice change of pace. You know, I went from having my mom, worrying about her a little bit, you know, most days, I thought, for the most part, I knew she was fine. And then I went into my cousin's, and my cousin is really high maintenance. And if I'm going to be in a place with somebody that's high maintenance, I'd rather be somebody that who I can be more intimate with, like a wife. Should have done it sooner. Um, I say yes and no. I don't really regret, or I don't think I regret having stayed with my mom all that time. Not, I didn't want to abandon her or anything like that. And maybe it was for some security on my part too. It was nice having that security. But I love my cousin, but having to living on her couch for free is nice. But till I got a job, but which I didn't, and I don't know. It seems so much better being here. It'll be better once I probably have a job and have my own place. No knock to my landlord. He's a nice guy. Just my house, my rules, right? And I can live by my rules in my house. Here, I'm just renting a room, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Like I'm a boarder basically, and me and my mom took in a few boarders over the years, so I guess it's nice to see that coming back. Somebody else being able to take somebody in, for a few bucks a month. I'm real tempted, even if it's beyond the 2 months that when I get to the end of the 2 months, that even if I have to, but even if I don't have a job, to stay here. If I'm here another month, I know after 3 months, um, you can get social assistance here. Hey, Mrs. Dillard, how are you doing tonight? Your husband has really great timing, going live just before I go live. But maybe he's doing what he's doing in his thing, um, doing a commission or whatever. It's good, or doing some sort of work. That's good. I'm just teasing a little bit. Nice in the sense that the goodwill. I did. Well, I'm trying to do my stream. If he's still live after I'm done my stream, I might. Mrs. Dillard. Um, well, you could direct them all over here. They could come over here and hear from me. But I want to try and continue getting my streams out each week. Technically, I'm doing this a little earlier than I'm used to. The last 2 weeks being, 7 o'clock that I start. It used to be 10, but I'm trying to make sure I do it at the same time for the um Goodwill, nice in the sense that Goodwill still exists. Bad sign for the economy. Yeah. Well, people have taken in borders, I think, almost since people have been owning homes. Hey, Lorenzo, how are you? Uh, well, to update you, were you here last week, Mrs. Dillard? I hope so. But on my interviews, I actually ended up having a second interview last week as well. If you weren't here last week, or if you were here last week and heard about the one that I was going to have, I ended up having a second one. Both went well. I should know by the end of this week, one way or another, whether I got either of them. I have an interview not this Thursday, but a week from Thursday at Mickey D's and McDonald's up the street. Your brick is my borders. So that's going good. Of course, I'm putting out resumes and on. I'm actually liking where I'm living at the moment. Um, and as I was telling Goodnight Spoon, I think this is the most interviews I've had in 2 weeks at a time. Most interview for you and the two interviews, together, day one day to the next, is the most I've ever had at a one time. So that for that, and then a third interview within another 2 week. So hopefully I get one of those jobs or another job that I'm applying for. I'm applying pretty much every day. Sometime, well, the first weekend I was here, I didn't do anything, didn't apply for anything. Um, this is only the second weekend, and I did apply for stuff this weekend. Actually, I think the first weekend I went on Indeed, but did I apply for anything on the Sunday or the Saturday? It's good to see you, Mrs. Dylan Jaws. I think it's been a couple years since I've seen you in chat. She's been around every so often. Maybe you two just haven't been here at the same time. But hey, it's cool that you're both here at the same time. And if everybody could hit the like button and share this out, let people know I am here. And if you have a channel, maybe share this on your if you have over the 500 and you have the community tab, maybe share it on the community tab. That's the way to share it if you're a fellow YouTuber, to let people know. um but yeah, there's a yeah, and you basically see the room that I'm in, that I'm renting. I do have a lamp over this way. You should leave Yelp reviews for the companies you apply with. Yeah. Oh, there's something too. For the first time this week. Well, was it this week? I think it was last week now, but um, I had Carl's Juniors. They have Carl Juniors here in Kilwack, I guess, in BC in general. Um, it wasn't too bad. It seemed like a combination of Burger King and a place here in Canada. I don't think you have them in the States. That here called Harvey's, because they see charbroiled. I don't think Burger King does charbroiled burgers, but this place here in Canada called Harvey's does. So it seemed sort of a combination of those two. So how's the area around there? Anything interesting? Well, I think I just said about the Carl's Juniors. Um, there's lots and lots of mountains. Did you guys all see that? Well, Lorenzo was here last, not Lorenzo, but not Hardee's, Harvey's, Harvey, Harvey's, apostrophe S. Now let me see. Harvey's. I think I spelled that wrong. Oh, I forgot the R. Not HARVEY apostrophe S. He didn't copy you. He reversed it. Hey, Anthony, how are you? Not Harvey's. I love Harvey's. Or did you mean Arby's? Did you mean Arby's or Harvey's? But we have Arby's. Well, in Ontario, they have Arby's. I'm not sure about here. I don't think I've seen an Arby's here yet. But I was at today. I actually visited the only what you call it art supply store in the thing. It's all about a dame named Harley Quinn. It's about oh, my bad. No, Rick, interesting. Carl's Jr.'s is fast food. I mean, I like things to do around. Oh, well, like I said, there's lots of mountains. I know about an hour walking within it. I think it takes about an hour to get there walking, and it doesn't open till mid-March. There is an amusement park, I think south of me. Arby's are super rare. Yes, they are. Um, but the town is surrounded by mountains. Um, and I'm sure there's lots of interesting things to do. I haven't found them yet. Um, Actually, there's down the street, there's a place that'll take you up, I think, into the mountains and stuff. Do a tour or something like that. I haven't really looked into it. I've just seen as I've walked past from the bus stop back to where I'm staying, I've seen the sign about tours or whatever. Um, if I stay here, I'll probably try and do that on some weekend or whatever. Rarer than Devil Superman in a brick. Uh, yes. uh, but yes, Arby's is good. So is Harvey's. Any pretty ladies, single ladies at church. Well, pretty ladies for sure. Single, well, I'm sure there are. I just don't know whether I haven't really met any of them yet. I've only went 2 Sundays. I haven't really talked to anybody more than the one conversation I said about the lady with the Superman symbol. But this Sunday after church, they're having a thing for a meeting with, I think, most their lead team. You know, I know at the church I went to before in Glad Tidings in Burlington, they had a lunch with the lead team. I've signed up for this lunch, and I think you'll meet, I guess, most of the, if not all of the main staff, pastors, and all that. Get to know them a little bit over lunch or whatever, along with how many other people have signed up. Women don't go to get Google church to get Googled. This is true. Well, actually, some do. Some might. Anyways, I can't say for sure, but um, uh, hopefully there'll be a bunch of people there that I can get to know and start. And the other thing that I'm hesitant to do because I'm not sure how long and if I'm staying or not, I'm hesitant to get involved in any major activities like small groups or like any of the teams, like the tech team, kids ministry. I'm hesitant to and get involved in that way till I know what I'm doing. Hey, what do I know? I haven't been to church in 20 years. And there's going to be there, and he's going to be wrong church food. He's going to the wrong church food. Yes, because where else? Well, where else should a single Christian guy meet a single Christian girl than at church? Well, maybe some single Christian event or place or whatever. I know back in the 90s, I think it was, or early thousands, in the Buffalo area, they had a Christian singles nightclub or something to that effect that was open at least on weekends or Friday, Saturday. I never went to it. I couldn't get to it or whatever, but I know that it existed at one time. but my misogyny ex-coworkers say that that's what gyms are for. Yes, that's what for gyms are for non-Christian people. That's their church. No, people meet people everywhere, right? Hey, Rain, how are you doing? But there was, well, not this last Sunday, but the first Sunday there was. Well, there's been a few girls that I like to look. Of course, you look for the ring to see whether they're married or maybe engaged. Hey, Brandon, how are you? How you doing? You haven't been here in a while, have you, Brandon? Do you know what's going on in my life? You want to know what's going on in my life? Do you care what's going on in my life? Uh, finally off and finishing up tomorrow, and I'm off. Where are you off? Or what are you off of? I've been working and of course, well, I'm not sure when the last time you were here. I forget. Do you know my mom died, Brandon? Or did you see anything about that? I think you did. I think you've commented on something or that you know. Uh, but of course, that happened, which was tragic, of course. Well, of course, I'm no longer in the apartment that I was with my mom because, well, the rent was only paid for so long and I didn't have the money really to keep it up. Okay, okay. I thought you might have. Hey, Naomi. Yes, I am doing well, and thank you for stopping by. But what else was I gonna say? And remember, everybody, hit the like, share it out. Do the other. I don't know. Um, I stayed with my cousin, so I was there for 2 months, cleaned out the place. I got most of my well, everything I wanted to keep in storage at a buddy's place. I lived with my cousin for 2 months, and just at the beginning of this month, February, I have moved for the time being, if not for good, to British Columbia, Chilliwack, British Columbia, which is about, I don't know, 50 miles outside of Vancouver, somewhere around there. And yes, I am well. I would say very much so. So, and yeah, I'm renting a place here while looking for a job in the city of Chilliwack. Only one Brandon. That's me. Well, technically, there are lots of Brandons out there, but I actually have a cousin named Brandon. But your graphics card is pooping the mattress. It is. Um, yeah, the internet here is all right. It could be better, obviously. Yeah, but I'm one of kind. Sure, sure, sure. But are they are too. But we're glad to have you. But I think most people refer to you as the Brandon. Well, most people know you here as the original Brandon of the channel, and I've had some other people on that they thought were sort of took your place, but nobody could take your place. So how are you doing, Larry? And I got my ministers ordinance. Well, awesome. Glad to hear that. I'm officially ordained. Through which denomination, if I might ask, or is that just? Well, I don't think it'd be like one of those places you can just get a marriage license or whatever online. Yeah, it's artifacting pretty bad, not frequently, but it's a sign of a defect. I'm getting by. Yeah, I've just got this cheap, well, depends on what you consider cheap, but yeah, I've just got this cheap laptop that I'm using. And of course, I've got the camera that you sent me and the mic. Uh, I didn't bring the Steam Deck. Actually, once I get non-denomination. Oh, okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. So yeah, so I'm probably going to be here 4 or 5 months in this place, maybe a little longer. And then, of course, I'm going to get my, as long as I get a job here, I'm going to get my own place. Yeah. I got to get me a desk and stuff back. I miss having a TV and a laptop on the desk. Oh, I don't think I asked. How's your wife doing, Brandon? How'd that work out? Is that working out? Hopefully that worked out. You and your wife, and nothing's happened in a bad way in that. Unplug the tablet next stream. Your station can't handle the extra load. Okay, I can do that for sure. Oh, good night, Spoon. Maybe we can get together. I'm not sure whether how we'll do it, but I had to. I think I told you this last week. I had to create a secondary account on my laptop because my original account doesn't want to use the camera or the thing, the mic. I don't know why. The none of the browsers want to use it. I can. So I think I can get OBS to use the camera, but it won't even accept OBS as a camera. I was okay. Yeah, I was actually messed up with that. I never was married. I was focused on getting my, you know what, taken care of. I was a mess, screwed myself out of money too. Oh, sorry to hear that, Brandon. But I created this secondary account and the browsers are thing. So I'm not sure whether that we can figure out how to get this working on my main thing. I tried to, and I know it's allowing it and all that. It says it allow, but then it says the browser won't allow it. And I've tried it on several different browsers. Like you, I'm trying to get back and try. Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I will next stream. I will definitely try and plug in my tablet for sure. I can't, I can't wait to get my real computer out here. Heck, I'm planning on going back in April. If I get a job, I might go sooner. I want my real computer, so I can do more than just watch videos. uh, Praying for Brandon Brian. Oh, that's good. And my mom's gone. Oh, sorry to hear that, Brandon. My condolences. Oh, but yeah, and my dad's doing pretty good too. My dad, as some of you know, had to have surgery on his to remove his bladder due to cancer. So now he's got one of those bags or whatever. But he's doing good. He recovered from the surgery well. Well, he's still going through some of the recovery. You know how it is. I think you guys would know how it is taking all the appointments and all that. But yeah, he's doing good. We can talk. Probably be talking to him tomorrow or Thursday. Um, but yeah, it's good to. What else? We got another hour to go, right? uh, uh, any other questions, comments? Anybody want the link? Uh, but yeah, things are. Yeah, like I said, things are going good out here. I could pop in for a wee bit, and you're just on the Facebooks. Okay, there. I just sent you the link on Facebook, Brandon. Rick, if I quit my job, will you put me up for a while? I wish I could, but I don't have a place to put you up in. Yeah, I won't use Twitter. Yeah, well, I just use it to. I don't get involved in any of the crap that goes on Twitter. I just, I just promote on there. I follow a few different, well, quite a few people probably, but I don't think I have your Twitter if you do have it. But like I said, I sent it via Facebook. Um, like yeah, it's taking. Is it taking? I've gotten used to being here fairly easy. I get used to being anywhere fairly easy. Frankly. And here we come with Brandon. Hey, Brandon,
Yo,
how are you today?
tired, ready to get the rest of the work week done and over with.
Uh,
Because Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and if I'm correct, that's going to be busy as all heck. Mostly because people want to do stuff for their dates, whatever. So if I'm correct, it's going to be crowded, but I'm not entirely sure because some of these days have been slow.
uh,
But either,
you're working at a restaurant or something, aren't you? Or
yeah, I work as a busser for the Cheesecake Factory.
oh, okay.
Which,
I
if
hope,
you're, if you, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I hope that job isn't too cheesy for you.
It's not really cheesy. It's not too cheesy at all. It's actually quite decent. I'm not sure what people expect out of it, but
You
it's quite.
missed it.
Oh, gee. Oh, it was a play on words, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect that.
Me, and you didn't expect a pun.
Because I'm not focused on puns or jokes that much. What do you expect? I work my patootie off.
Hey, you gotta remember, I'm the Punisher.
Yeah, I know, and I forgot about that back then.
Good night,
Oh,
spoons. Hey, Joshua. Uh, Clark. Good night, spoon says evil coworkers. I'm all right. I'm right. Am I right? I don't know. And then Joshua says, "Are
are
you
you
Clark
Clark
Kent?"
Kent? I don't know, Rick. Are you Clark Kent?
No, no, I'm Kevin Clarkston.
Oh man.
And how I was able to pull that out of my hat so easily is because I've created I won't call him a spoof con character, but I created a character called Ultimate Boy, which is supposed to be, I guess, rip off of Superman. Superboy as a teenager, and I reversed the letters, the C and the K, and came up with the name
Oh boy.
Kevin Clarkston or Clarkson. My sketchbook says more like punishment. Doggone it! Now you got me doing it.
Way to keep it incognito.
Joshua says, "Take your glasses off so I can make sure." Rain says hello to Joshua.
Dobby says hello, Master Porter. Dobby's confused.
Wait, you're not Clark Kent. You're Superman. And then he says hello to Rain. Joshua, that is.
I gotta get into more drawing again, so I haven't done anything for a good while. And the main reason
Yeah.
I'm getting back into that because I got post those videos too. Shoot. Um, I'm not sure if you know anything what this is, but I do a thing called pyrography. It's basically where you burn pictures into the wood,
Oh,
and
cool,
I did a
cool.
couple of them. They came out pretty good, but I want to do more also. I
Well,
just got a
that's
whole thing of
good.
yeah, I got a whole thing of wood and I got a sketchbook, so I want to get to work on that again. So more than likely, you might see me draw again. I don't know yet. I'm trying to plan out and see what designs I want to do first.
Cool, cool. Uh,
I know there's one I
today,
want to do.
Rain's like
Mhm.
housework, Joshua. And Goodnight Spoon is like, nailed the setup and the punchline.
Because the
Is
one that I
Rain,
want to do. Oh, I'm sorry, but go ahead.
um, Joshua's got a thumbs up, I guess, to Rain and maybe Rain and Goodnight Spoon for there. And Rain is congrats to Joshua on the Super Bowl. Not sure how why he's congratulating him on the Super Bowl. And then Goodnight Spoon wants to know if you are a prepper.
Okay, what do you mean by that? Am I like a doomsday prepper or what
Well,
kind of prepper?
that's probably what he means, or something similar to that. Maybe not doomsday, but a
Um,
prepper.
let me make sure I know this over here.
It's somebody, I guess, who stocks up on
Oh,
stuff, supplies, and all that for in case of emergencies, or
okay.
even maybe emergencies, or
Okay, when you put it that
doomsday
way.
emergency.
Okay, when you put it that way, because that was more of my mom's thing. But yeah, I'm more of a prepper when it comes to doing stuff like that because I'd rather have stuff on hand instead of like worrying about it. Like, okay, I gotta make sure I have my sketchbook. I gotta make sure I got my pencils, my hoopla, yada yada type of thing.
Yeah, she says, Goodnight Spoon, I guess, clarifies more what he means and says, "Do you have a bunker filled with MREs and testosterone pills?" Well, I don't think he'd have those, but
I don't need a
uh,
whole lot of testosterone, buddy. Thank you. I mean, it's good to have, but yeah, I want to keep that in check. Thank you very much.
and he says, "Water optional." I think you need water before the testosterone pills.
I take water every single day. What you talking about, boy?
Yeah. Hey, JR, how are you?
I think with that also, because that new Godzilla versus Kong thing's coming out, that's probably my next thing I want to do for the wood burning would be that.
Cool, cool, cool. Goodnight Spoon says, "That's not a prepper. Do you have a bug out bag?" What
No,
bag? What's a bug out bag?
a bug out bag. It's basically like if you have to leave in a certain situation or some kind of scenario, you have what
Oh
you
yeah,
need.
yeah, to leave in a hurry.
Yep. Yeah, my mom before she died, she was more into that than I was. Um, I might have to start doing it, but it's not gonna happen while I'm still in the place where I'm at.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah,
I
I
think
understand that.
yeah.
JR says, "Good. Sorry, I didn't notice the stream earlier. No problem, no problem, JR. It's good you're here now. You've got an hour, hopefully, here." Uh,
Woohoo!
Joshua says, "Brandon." Oh, Rain says, "Joshua, how is your wife and kids?" Brandon, "Good night soon," says Brandon is super sus. Joshua says, "This guy has his priorities straight. When the apocalypse happens, he's got his sketchbook and pencil."
Well, yes, I am. Thank you for noticing.
Yes, that's all I need to survive the apocalypse. A sketchbook and a pencil.
When you think about it, at least I got fire kindling. When you think about it,
Well, it depends on how many pencils you have. Depends what type of pencils you have.
true.
Because if you have these mechanical pencils, they won't be any good for kindling.
Obviously, I use wood.
Um, I guess the sketchbook would be good for paper, something to light on fire easy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that chicken smells so good right now. I'm hungry as heck.
And how hungry is heck?
Hungry as heck, as in I got a big old hole in the pit of my stomach that's never gonna be filled. That's how
Yes,
hungry I am.
yes. No, I get
Okay.
that. But, we say it's hungry as heck, but first of all, who is heck, and how do we know how hungry he is?
Hungrier than a sperm whale, and that sucker's huge.
Okay, how do you know how hungry the sperm whale is?
I don't know. He's big. I mean, think about it. Can you only
Yeah.
imagine how much food that thing has to eat?
Well, there's websites that would tell you, but I'm not going to go looking at the moment. But okay, so yes they're big, but what if they just eaten? What if it's just eaten? How hungry is it then?
Hmm. Okay, good question. One I can't answer because I don't know. That's actually a brain farter right there. But okay.
I'm just, of course, I'm teasing you a little
I
bit, just to
know.
be.
I know. That's
Uh,
why I did it such a smarty pants way. That's why I did it like that.
yeah. Joshua says they're very real and existing. Rain. Good night. Spoon says, "I'm trying to assert, ascertain, ascertain whether Brandon uses actual wood burning tools or if he dismantles his microwaves." I think he uses actual wood burning tools.
Obviously, I do. Dismantle microwaves. I'm not even sure what that even has to do with anything.
Well, I guess you could dismantle a microwave in some way and use the parts from it to do wood burning.
I could if I had the skills. Scooby-Doo.
JR, the Elk of Antioch says, I have a bug out bag. It's just a bucket of KFC and a bag of crystal meth. I can use
No.
to trade.
Dude, no.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure whether you want to trade
Oh
the
no.
KFC and
I know what that
Filter.
reference is. There's a show called Paradise PD. He's referring to the scene where the guy made fried chicken and he accidentally made it with some type of drug.
Oh, Reed says, I'm sorry to hear about that. I'm sorry to hear that. Joshua, thank you, says Joshua. Rick, what is in your closet? Clothes and some other stuff. My backpack, my towel, toiletries, my box to my laptop.
The simple
What,
thing.
I know there's a couple other things. Oh, my gym bag. Uh, Joshua says my bug out bag is filled with bugs, but they're tasty looking cartoon bugs from the Lion King.
I don't know. Timon and Pumbaa might get mad.
Good night. Spoon says Brandon is clear. Now Elk is sus, and so is Joshua.
It appears the majority of the chat is sus. That includes my Autobots.
Not bad.
I watch too much Transformers lately.
Yes, you do. I don't know. How can I know whether how much Transformers you watch? Because A, you haven't told me, and B, I'm not around you to see you watch Transformers.
Well,
So
I've been
that
watching a
I
lot.
think the second thing is a good thing.
The
I'm
one
not
I've been
sure.
watching a lot lately would be the Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. But it's sad that they only had that set up in the '90s instead of 2000s. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they can't keep their continuity for that. They want to go back and all that because although you're and of course I think you're talking about the movie, right?
Yeah,
The latest movie. It was all right, but to me it left a little bit the desire. Well, I think they messed up the Beast Wars characters.
I think so too because it didn't feel like with the Maximals. It didn't feel like it was the Maximals. The
Yeah,
character was there with Prime. The others was like, what the heck? Wheeljack was messed up. Mirage was messed up.
oh yeah, well they've messed up all of them. The
Yeah,
original Transformers. That's long since been known, but which should have told you that they would mess up. Um, the Maximals. I didn't like the fact that there weren't the Predacons in it. You know, they just fought. Um, the Decepticons, the Autobots, and the Maximals fought the Decepticons. There was no Predacons.
mm-hmm. Very big disappointment.
Joshua says, "You eat the bugs," says Pumbaa.
If I was that skilled in voices, I would be able to do Timon. I can't. His voice
Yeah,
is too complicated for me.
I can do a few voices, but I haven't tried to do other voices in many years. So
Yeah. Are you going to finish that croissant?
who's that?
Hmm?
Who's that supposed to be?
Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, Yeah, okay, yeah, it does sound a little bit like him. Pumbaa from The Lion King, right? I think it's Pumbaa. Pumbaa. I'm going. Good Night Spoon says, I'm going to get to bed. I gotta get up bright and early in the morning. Quit my job. Well, I wouldn't suggest that. And hello, Jim Landscope, LLC, number
Oh,
one.
hello there, sir.
And good night, Spoon. Good night, good night. It's time to say good night. Good night, Spoon.
Oh boy. Oh.
Yeah. Rick, you should apply for Good Night Spoon's job. Yeah, well, first of all, there's two problems. A, I don't know where it is. Well, actually, probably more than two problems. A, I don't know where it is. Although I could probably get in touch with him to find out. But B, I'm on the wrong side of the coast. And I know there was a C that I was thinking, but well, see, I'm probably not good at whatever it is that he does. Oh, and D, it's in the States. And I'm in Canada.
And E, you'd make sure you're getting paid properly.
What was that?
And E, you need to make sure you get paid properly. Why? You went through A, B, C, and
Yeah,
D in the United States, and E, you need to make sure you're paid properly.
yeah, but how's that a hindrance to me getting the job?
I don't know. Just figure I'd make conversation with us.
But, well, $25 an hour, that's good, especially American, because $25 an American is like 30 Canadian more, somewhere between 30 and 35. Just across the border. Easy. Actually, it's easy to cross. The last time I knew, it was easy to cross the border to go from Canada. No, go from the States to Canada. There's a couple places, or there's one place, I think in Quebec that they just the RCMP become the Royal Canadian Bellhops instead of the police or the bellhops. The RCMB instead of the RCMP. Good night, Spoon says night to Joshua.
Good night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed
Well,
bugs bite.
But I don't know whether you could. Well, I'm sure there's lots of places that you could cross into the States via land without getting caught by border. But I think it's a little harder to go from Canada to the States non-border, crossing the border with going through a legal point of entry. If you're suggesting that I try and do it illegally, Rain. Although in that comment, sort of suggests that you're suggesting that Dylan came in illegally.
Oh man.
We dropped to 3. Yeah. We've only got 45 minutes to go. Or I've got 45 minutes to go. There's nothing keeping you here. So, but hey, the longer you can stick around, the better.
All right, for everyone, I may have a joke for you guys.
Uh-oh, get ready, guys. Incoming.
What has 2 wings and an arrow. It's not Cupid, so don't even say Cupid.
Okay, I'm gonna say I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
Oh yeah, I'll say I don't know.
The Chinese, you want to know why? Wing, wing, hello.
Are you trying to get this channel taken down?
No. People thought it was racist. That's not actually racist. It's a little joke.
I know. I know what a joke is. The censors at YouTube,
Oh,
not so much.
I forgot they're still doing that Copa garbage.
Well, I don't even think it's COPA, but just in general, they don't know what jokes are. Rain says I didn't suggest it.
No, I won't say it again. You have to rewatch it because I'm not gonna repeat it.
Yes, if you did try, I'd have to mute him. I think I can mute you. Can I mute you? I
Yeah,
should- yeah, I can mute him. See, I didn't mute you.
I can't see. I'm the one who can see.
I can even edit his mic settings. I can just put his mic all the way down. Focus automatically adjust mic volume. Yeah, I can also take his mic and just put it down to nothing. Automatically adjust mic volume there.
It didn't even seem racist to me when I first heard it.
I wouldn't say it's racist, but obviously people are going to tease you about that joke being that, and then well, there's some people, like I said, that can't take a joke.
Can we bring back the 2000s, please? I hate this century. Can we go back to the early 2000s or the 90s at least? Pretty please with a cherry on top. I swear I miss those days. Those were the best days. Not for the jokes, no, but think about it. The
Yeah.
TV, the food, the stuff you were able to do.
Oh, the food still is, well, a lot of places still is good, but yeah,
Well, I
you're
don't mean
right.
like that. Like
TV.
I don't mean like that, but like there's a certain feeling you have with it. Like, it was a special moment when you went out during those kind of times and all that, and you just enjoyed yourself. And today you can't even do that.
Yeah, some places you can. Joshua, I guess, rewatched it and said, "Well, that's racist." Or that was racist.
Sorry. Oh man.
But yeah, it's definitely different doing this at like 7 o'clock at night instead of 10 on Tuesdays.
7 o'clock for you, 10 o'clock for me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it used to be 10 o'clock for me that I did it, 10 to 12. Now it's 7 to 9. Make a YouTuber apology video.
Do you hate all the Asians or just the Chinese? No, I don't hate no Asian or Chinese person. I don't. I don't do that garbage. Otherwise, I'd be just as worse as the Hebrew Israelite movement. You want to talk racist? They're the worst races of them all. I promise you.
Well, so What else can we not talk about?
Let's not talk about how we go to the bathroom in our spare time when we have our own off days. We're like, oh, finally, I can just release all my anger, stress into the
Well,
toilet of solitude.
okay, we're not supposed to be talking about that. um,
I'm kind of stumped. I don't know.
oh yeah, okay. Up to will myself.
Scooby Dooby Doo. You can't talk about. Yeah. Why do I talk? You know what? I'm not gonna reply to that. No. If you're wondering, I don't hate them. I'll leave it at that. I don't hate them. There's things I don't agree
Oh
with,
yeah.
but I don't hate them. I don't.
Yeah, well, he's not saying that. He's just saying with a lot of the way things are out there, you can get canceled for talking about them in the wrong way.
Right. Although I probably could show you something. Let me see where I got that.
And he's like, "Look what happened to Kanye."
Did they
Well,
get him?
I'm not sure what's happened to what. I'm not sure how relevant he's become, but with his one statement, he did get a little bit canceled, or they tried to. I'm not sure what happened. It's not in the news anymore, so I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. We're not gonna read that, Joshua.
No, boy. I regret telling that joke now. For the record, folks, I'm not racist. I'm not.
They
So
know
great.
you're not. They know you're not. And although they probably won't admit it, especially here, they might even tell that joke somewhere, although it was bad.
Oh no.
um, but they will tease you about it. That's just who they are. That's the
Yeah.
chat.
Nobody has created a monster. Nobody's confused.
And Joshua says, "That's what they all say." Because if they can get under your skin, they will. They will try to, and they will. So you got to have fun with them. They troll you, you got to troll them back, and you both have fun.
Hmm.
Oh, hopefully, at least with the good ones. Not the bad ones. If you troll them back, those trolls don't like being trolled. Those trolls can't handle being trolled back, so they run away. Well, some of
You
them.
you have a lot more patience than I do then, because when it comes to TikTok, there's a lot of people on there who want to act like they're 2 years old or whatever. You probably would have a lot more patience than me.
Yeah, well, guess what? The thing is, you just don't interact with those people.
Right.
These people are these people here, my trolls. They're not doing anything malicious. They're just trying to have a little fun.
Mhm.
Yes, sure, be at yours or my expense by what stuff we do. But if we can't laugh at ourselves and the things we do, some of the things we do are stupid and idiotic. I can admit it.
I would never get under another man's skin. I'm straight.
See, they get
Okay. Happy to know that.
Joshua says, "What do you mean?" The good ones. Oh, what? You want to be one of the bad ones, Joshua? You want me to consider you a bad troll?
Whoa.
Just use one of the good blacks. Frank says, see, now he's saying something.
I'm not gonna read that. I'm not gonna repeat that.
Stop being trollphobic. I'm not afraid of no trolls.
Troll
Or maybe
phobic.
that's the
Is that a new phobia now?
there is probably a real thing for troll phobia, but I doubt it's called troll phobia. Here, let's see. Let's see whether we can find out what the real fear of trolls is called.
Fungi.
What is
Excuse me, can I get more of that, please?
troll?
Alright.
Okay, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Well, it's actually in the trollphobia. The word trollphobia is actually in the dictionary. Although there is another word that's in the dictionary for the phobias that supposed says fear of troll dolls. It's Black History Month, Rick. You can say something positive about Joshua's people.
Oh no.
Uh, Joshua's not a troll. He looks like one. And then, of course, I put in the phobia for fear of troll dolls. And Joshua says, I'm more of a goblin. Well, I'm not gobbling it up.
The goblin. Ooh. That's the end of that. I'm full. Ooh.
And there's masplophobia and Noah Syndergaard.
And for everyone in the chat, I wish you all a very happy Valentine's Day. For whoever may have a sweetheart, I hope you have a wonderful time. Especially for those who are single, so wish all of you a happy Valentine's Day.
Nothing positive? Well, here. Joshua is a very good troll. Your sound speaks volumes. I was looking things up.
Oh, excuse me.
Joshua says, bye, Brandon. I guess he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Are you taking off?
No, I just figured I'd do
Well-
that because getting close to the time for me anyway, it's gonna get, well, midnight in an hour, but close to the time.
Yeah. Joshua says, silence is violence.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Rain goes, why would you wish happy Valentine's Day to Rick's chat? Laugh out loud. They're all lonely.
They can do Valentine's Day too.
Why do you
Heck.
do Valentine's Day without somebody to do it with?
What the? Okay, for a single person, take yourself out to Outback Steakhouse, worst steakhouse you go to, get yourself a nice T-bone or sirloin or freaking filet mignon, whatever floats your boat. And hey, that's your Valentine's Day dinner right there, and just watch a sad romantic movie and just wish you had some.
Hey, Mr. Yanafui. But that makes no sense. Uh, your Valentine's Day is about taking your significant other, your lover, I'm not sure how you want to put it.
Well,
Unless you're, um, going out with yourself
okay.
in a
Well,
romantic way.
here's what I want to say about that also. And I'm being serious, all jokes aside. And some people try to say, Valentine's is pagan. Well, here's the thing. It depends on who's putting what into there. But here's the other thing. We keep forgetting John 3:16. We keep forgetting a certain verse in the Bible where God shows his love for us. We love because he loved us first. So if you really think about it, you probably should put more focus on him. It doesn't have to be about, you know, doing it with your significant other or a box of chocolate or anything like that. It should be focusing about what he did for us. And that's all jokes aside, by the way.
Yeah. Well, that's a definitely a good take on it. I'm not sure whether that's the right word, take or whatever, a good thing that we can do, but definitely good. Joshua says we need to cancel Valentine's Day. It's insensitive to the incel community. How are you, Mr. Yanafui? I see you. It looks like you're thinking about something there, something that's been said that's struck your fancy. We must admit, though, Valentine's Day was owns it was created. I'm not sure who when it was created.
Supposedly
But
it was created by the Roman Catholic, whatever, saying it was supposed to
yeah,
be Lupercalia. They're saying Valentine's Day is completely different compared to Lupercalia. Lupercalia was 10 times worse compared to Valentine's Day.
yeah. Well, it was made in honor of Saint Valentine,
Hmm.
and I forget what he was about.
Okay, so Saint Valentine, during the time of Rome, the Roman emperor, if I'm guessing correctly,
Well, I don't think he
he
would have been an emperor, but I think it would have been after the Roman Empire, Saint Valentine. I'm not sure.
something like that. But they believed, like, they have better soldiers. They were not married, so they basically try to make sure they had any man they could find and make sure they didn't get married because they found them as better, excuse me, being better soldiers. And some of these men knew about it, and there was women that they loved. So Saint Valentine secretly would marry them. And for those of you who are wondering, he was Christian. He was a martyr because eventually he did get unalived for what he did because he was preaching the gospel and he was doing the proper Christian marital ceremonies. And when the government of that time found out, they were angry as all hell. And they wanted to put a stop to it because they wanted more men.
Hmm.
Joshua, come on, man. Ew. I'm not
Lube.
repeating. I already know where you went with that.
Well, like I said, you can do one of two things with the chat. The trolls. Ignore them or feed them. I guess we feed them a little bit here. That's why they come around.
Yeah.
It's part of them as viewers and no viewers at all.
True.
And it's a way to have fun too. I don't mind. I don't mind good joking with no malice or anything. And ultimately, they'll never admit it, but they do care a little.
Okay, I have one joke. It's not racist. This won't get taken down or anything. How come you can't hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
I don't know why.
Because the P is silent.
That's
Yeah,
like what you should have been with that joke.
I wasn't.
Finally.
Okay. What do hunters like to eat with their cheese?
I don't know what.
Quackers.
You're little quackers. Joshua says, feed me, Seymour. That's just quackers.
Let me guess. Quackers.
Cheese and crackers.
No, shit. Cheese and quackers. Really? That was my sister. That was not me.
Well, I could tell it was a different voice, and I think everybody else should be able to. But it's good to know that who the voice is.
Oh, Rain. No. 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 No.
She gives
Oh.
him some eggplant, although I'm sure that's supposed to be a euphemism for something else, and says "eat up."
Don't pretend you don't know, Rick. We all know what that is. We're not gonna say it.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100% positive. But I do not need my
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
suspicions confirmed.
That's what I'm saying. Don't say it. We already know what that is.
Joshua says, "Come on, man, too soon. The dinosaurs were genocided, and you're laughing." You know the meteor striking the Earth, killing all the dinosaurs, right? Genocided.
Yeah.
They're genocided by, and we're laughing about their genocide,
Oh boy.
or laughing about them and they're dead.
Bum bum ba bum bum ba dum ba bum ba bum.
I'm not sure, Joshua. Not sure how much that joke flies. Hmm.
Here's one. Wait. What are you doing? Okay. My wife told me to pick up 6 cans of Sprite. I ended up picking 7 up. Corny, I know, but hey, you gotta laugh a little bit out of it.
Yes.
They're not
I'm
even
not.
here to defend
I'm not
themselves.
even sure whether I should admit that I'm laughing over them. You can see that I'm sort of chuckling, although they're so
My wife,
bad.
my wife,
A little good.
my wife asked me if I seen the dog bowl. I said I didn't know he could.
You know, Joshua says they're not even here to defend themselves. The dinosaurs, that is.
Probably a good thing they're not here too. Can you only imagine what it'd be like if we were walking alongside those things? Oh boy. Jurassic Park
Well,
number 5.
well, it was probably reality.
Mm.
Although, at least in my opinion and my belief, it was probably reality. And then you got to remember that they probably were not all that big. The ones that we get the things for were probably ones that were a couple thousand years, at least probably, 1,000 years old. They're supposed to be reptiles, right?
Yeah.
Reptiles usually live longer than people. Um, we know that people were living 900 years, almost 1,000. Maybe even some did live 1,000 that didn't get recorded for whatever reason in the Bible or elsewhere. Um, so lizards are living longer than people, right?
Mhm.
And people are living 1,000 years or close to 1,000 years. Then they would be living. You would think they'd be living over 1,000 years. And something that you may or may not know, lizards do not ever stop growing.
It makes sense because think about it. Back then, the oxygen quality back then was 1,000 times better.
Yes. And there's that too. The atmosphere was a little different. It's been surmised by some people that humans were a lot bigger back then too.
Joshua, do you really want me to go there? Because I will not do that on this channel. I'll do it on mine, but I won't do it on here.
What about lizard people? How long do they live? I don't know. Ask Lorenzo. Joshua, ask Lorenzo. He might know. Rick, stop making stuff up. I'm not making stuff up. This is stuff that in my little bit of I'd say research, but I don't think research is quite the right word. But
A wee bit of expertise.
well, expertise. I wouldn't even say that because it's even less than that. It's just in people that I've listened to that I believe are credible. How about that? Um, so and we know from before the flood, from the time of, according to biblical, if you add the numbers together in the Bible, it's about, I think, 2,000 years from Noah to uh, creation, approximately. So, they had animals had a big little bit thing to live. They find, giant insects and all that in, stuff and all that when they, dig stuff up or whatever and various layers. I forget what to call it, but or in various places in the snow or ice or whatever, they find giant insects or whatever. You know, yeah, Joshua, only 1,000 years. Oh, that's what the lizard people. So, what's the saying? But so, if you and all the animals, especially all the land animals, we know would have died, except for those on Noah's Ark, would have died in the flood. So, if you have a 2,000-year-old lizard of some sort or a 1,500-year-old lizard that dies at that point, you know, and of course they start out small because their babies would be smaller than them, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then of course, even nowadays you have in cryptozoology you have stuff like small brontosauruses or whatever that are or brachiosauruses or whatever that are legend in like the Congo or whatever that are still supposed to be over there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Minio Bimbi or something like that. And then
Kele
the
Mobembe.
yeah, and there's a few other names for it by the natives over there. And then also the Indians here in Canada and the States, or maybe more the States, when the settlers got over here, or going out west, the western ones, there were legends of what they called the Thunderbird, which in the descriptions and all that would be like a pterodactyl or whatever, something like that, pterodactyl. And then even those ones are, there's been rumors of those ones over in the Congos or places like that too. So, you could still have dinosaurs, maybe not quite as big as they were back then, living with man.
The only comment I have for that is a lot of that stuff is supernatural, and it's a weird place. You never know what you'll find, what you'll hear, what you'll see.
Yes, but
It's all,
supernatural doesn't leave bones.
well, in a sense, yes. In another sense, no.
We have no bones of
Because think about it.
angels.
We keep thinking like these type of things are just comic book. Whoop, there you go. You blacked
Pardon?
out. You blacked out for a little bit. I don't know what happened, but
Oh,
uh, we have stuff. Trying to think of one thing because I lost track as soon as the screen went black. Shoot, we have giant bones. And
yeah,
people, and they want to say that's supernatural, but it would be for us because we think that all this stuff's nothing but fairy tale. But as soon as you go back to history, especially Native American history, because even the Native Americans throughout their whole lineage, they tell stories about the giants, but they don't use the word Nephilim. I don't know what word they use, but they would use the word giant.
yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah, but giants could have just easily been men. We have men that grow to 8 feet tall,
oh, I know.
nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
Under like I'm not sure whether you know who Carl Baugh is. He has a piranha, or he did have a piranha that he let grow in like water that would have been what he surmises would have been the atmosphere or similar atmosphere
Hmm.
to pre-flood conditions. This piranha got 4 to 5 times the size of the regular piranha. So if people are back in that atmosphere, how much bigger, taller are they? And
Good
then you have
point.
those people,
Okay,
and
good
if you
point.
have those people dying in the flood, their bones are going to get buried, and you're going to find them. And then we know even after the flood, we still have people growing, maybe not quite as tall as pre-flood, but we know we have people growing, although it becomes rarer and rarer because we see Goliath who grew to about 10 feet tall.
Hmm.
So the fact that we have giant bones more backs up, I would say, the Bible.
I just say is
Or-
this is it's a very mysterious place. That's all I can say.
Oh, yes, there's a lot of mysterious stuff on the planet,
Yeah,
but I won't say dinosaurs are mysterious. We won't say they're supernatural. We don't want to seem kookish.
right.
And, you know, there's evidence of dinosaurs being physical things by their bones.
Hmm.
We haven't heard. Have you ever heard tell of angel bones? Bones from angels?
That okay. I will admit that would sound weird. That would be.
So saying that something that physical, we haven't heard of anything supernatural actually having bones, dying and having bones. Like I've not even heard technically whether an angel could die in the sense that we consider death.
I just label it as supernatural only because I put more of that into the weird file that I'm trying to build up.
Yeah,
That's the only
yeah.
reason why I label it that.
Well, most of dinosaurs, even Bigfoot and abominable snowman, that goes under a category that's called cryptozoology
Mhm.
for animals that people believe exist.
Mhm. My mom called me
Right.
angel in headphones.
Yes, just because your mom calls you an angel doesn't mean you're an angel in what angels are supposed to be. You just mean you're thinking you're acting like an angel. You're acting good like an angel. So to her, you're an angel.
I'm a little
But
angel.
but yeah, cryptozoology would deal with, Bimbi and those sort of things. Yes, there's some stuff that might skirt the things like maybe the chupacabra
Chup-
in
Chupacabra. I would say this
yeah,
way. If you're gonna call it
yeah,
stuff like that, I would just say for the Maquillan and Bembe, just call it the Congo Dino, and for Chupacabra, just call it the goat sucker because that's actually what it means in English. Chupacabra is just Spanish for goat sucker.
yeah. Now, whether that could be something physical, it could be spiritual. That one I don't know. There's people out there that deal in that cryptozoology. Some of it would fit under cryptozoology, some of it fits
Right.
under supernatural. Some we're not sure which one it fits in, because nobody's caught
Right.
one. Oh, but they've seen them. Some people have said they've seen them or stuff like that. You know what I mean? And Rain says, "I am an angel."
Yeah, I know what you mean. Only because when I was in the
Yeah,
cult, this was stuff I'd be studying nonstop. But now I'm studying it from a Christian point of view.
yeah. And there's the thing. We want to. I get that there are spiritual things. I don't deny that. God's spiritual. There's angels out there. Yes, we can't see them, but we can't count dinosaurs and giants as spiritual things because I won't say because the Bible talks us about them as were physical things,
Hmm.
like Leviathan and Behemoth, you know, and then of course we've put some things that even the Bible talks about as a physical thing into the mythological, like
Right.
unicorns. The Bible talks about unicorns,
Yeah, and I
but
looked
the
into that too.
way now
I'm sorry.
the way the Bible describes the unicorn is not how we have our mythological unicorns. The horse with the horn.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, there's two words they use for it in Hebrew. One of it, what they call the tahash. Tahash in Hebrew just means badger, which I didn't know they had badgers in Israel. And then Reem or Raim, that just means wild oxen. And I'm like, huh. And I didn't know that until I looked
I'm
it up.
not, I'm not that seems um, are you sure that's the Hebrew stuff
Yeah,
for it? Because
because
I check into that because, I know some but it's described as a one-horned animal in the Bible, calling it an oxen. Yes, you could have an oxen with one horn, but usually it's broken off. But most oxen have two horns, and a badger has no horns.
exactly that's what I'm saying. But here's the thing I'm saying. The only way they would try and do the unicorn type thing, the horse with a horn thing, that's out of the picture. This is how Old English did it. In the 1500s, when again the Douay Rheims Bible, I don't know how to say that, they literally came out and called the unicorn a rhino in there because the Latin, they had two different types of
Unicornus.
names. Yeah,
Yeah,
rhinoceros unicornus and rhinoceros
you,
bicornus. Yeah,
yeah. So there is a bunch of people that believe the unicorn in the Bible would be a rhinoceros, which is, if you look at the description, a little bit more fitting.
but then I have to
Seems
look at the
more.
name. environment for it too. They try to say the woolly rhino was the Unicron. Like, first of all, that thing has a whole bunch of hair all over it. It's not gonna be able to survive in the kind of environment it was for the time of Israel.
Yeah, well, a rhino. It's just a rhinoceros with hair,
Yeah.
so it can survive in the winter.
Yeah,
And then you got to realize the Israel that we see today might not be the Israel that, and I mean the physical place and all that is the same place,
yeah,
but the conditions, the weather conditions might not be quite the same as it was back when it first started. Because back when it first started, it was a land flowing with milk and honey. It was very prosperous and all that. It had, it
There's
was a land that grew grapes so big that it took what 5 or 6 men to carry a cluster. How big was that cluster? Last time I knew, I could handle clustered grapes in one hand without any hardship. But if it takes 5 or 6 men, or maybe two, I forget, but even just two, if it takes 2 men to carry a cluster of grapes, those grapes had to be pretty big.
and delicious.
Well, date grapes are still delicious, but you know, I'm just saying they had to be pretty big. So
Hmm.
if you have a land producing this, that land was a lot different than we know Israel today.
Exactly. I believe that.
You know, and it's because of some of the stuff that Israel got did, because God cursed the land a little bit because of some of their stuff, if I remember right. You know, and eventually God's going to restore it. I believe. It's going to come back to being very fruitful.
I hope so, because I'm tired of this crap heap here.
Yeah. But we also got to remember this is also the land that produced, or close to the land that produced Goliath.
Right.
So, and remember also at that time too, the people, the Israelites said they were like grasshoppers to the people of Canaan land or whatever. So there's again another thing to say giants and that they were physical beings.
And people were afraid, and they didn't want to go into the promised land, and then they had to wander the desert
Yeah,
for 40 years. Yeah.
yeah, because they were afraid they couldn't defeat them. Yeah, they had God on their side. God's bigger than the giants. And 40 days because they were or 40 years because they were in the land spying it out for 40 days. 1 year for each day. Which was interesting when I first read that. That's why they had to wander. That's where God get the number 40 years for 40 days. 40 days for 40 years.
And
Geez, what a sentence. All because you believe 10 guys over to 2 guys. Meaning, don't always believe the numbers. But we are about a minute away from when I want to end this. So, anything that you would like to promote, Brandon?
I would say, like I want to say earlier, I wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. And don't forget the reason it's not just about spend time with your spouses. We need to put Jesus back where of our lives, because without him, we're nothing. All jokes aside, I know I joke around a little bit, but so is Reg. But on seriousness
And
though,
there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, exactly. Like, just make sure you know what's more important. That's all I gotta say with that.
Okay, Joshua says, "What about 5 guys?" I'm not sure what you mean, Joshua. What about 5 guys? Unless you mean Five Guys burgers and fries or.
A burger.
But well, thank you, Brandon, for coming on. Thank everybody in the chat for coming by. It's been great having everybody here. It's been great having Brandon on, talking with him. I know it's been a few months since we talked. And of course, you're welcome here anytime. And yeah, I will be back next Tuesday, of course. Tomorrow night I will probably be on my buddy's place, Hero Shack channel. There as most he's been on here a couple times talking about his book. He's got a good book out right now, which is Cyclopean #7 over on Fund My Comic. So go check that out. And I guess that's it. If Dillard's still on, go check out Dillard's if he's still on. I'm gonna probably go on his channel for a bit if he's still on.
Yeah,
So
I'll go
good
ahead
night.
and stuff. So good night, everybody.
Good night. God bless. Have a great day. A great night. See you next week.